My name is Jace Graves, and I'm the chair of the Language Development Department at Kilgore College, and I also help with professional development with our QEP, Write Your Future. And this presentation will demonstrate how instructors can show students how to use Google Docs and specifically the citation tools in Google Docs to help students improve the attribution in essays where they are borrowing and citing information. And, the goal here is to help us improve our scores from the written communications rubric when student artifacts are assessed through the QEP. In particular, students continue to struggle with the element of written communications called attribution. And I'm going to scroll down a little here and show you this portion of the written communication rubric. Attribution is one objective in the written communication rubric. And when those artifacts are assessed, they're assessed on a 4-point scale. And basically what's being assessed through this rubric is not necessarily the accuracy of student attribution, the citations and the works cited or reference page, but whether students have included those things where they need to be and included what they need to be. So when the artifacts are assessed, that's what the folks assessing the artifacts are looking for. And the goal here is to land on a 3 or a 4, that the student is competent or exemplary in providing attribution, citations, and references. Competent means they've included attributions when it's appropriate with very few exceptions. And exemplary just means they've included attribution consistently. So that's what we're looking for. Now, using the citation tool in Google Docs isn't necessarily going to help students include it when it's appropriate. What it will do is take away the concern that students might have, the focus that they might be spending their time on for citing things accurately as far as in the correct format, because the citation tool formats both the in-text citations and the works cited or reference page for the student. So then they can concentrate on placing the citations where they belong. And that's really what's being assessed in the QEP. So I'm going to scroll down again, and I have sort of a mock student, just a portion of a paragraph here. It's nonsensical because it's a combination of several different sources that don't really have anything to do with each other. But I'll be using this to demonstrate how the citations tool works to include in-text citations and the works cited or reference page. Now, I'm in Google Docs, and some instructors are reluctant to encourage students to use Google Docs because of how Google Docs interacts with Blackboard. We know that Blackboard has a hard time, well, it just doesn't accept Google Docs as far as the Safe Assign tool that's in Blackboard. Google Docs show up as links rather than documents. And while these things are true, it's relatively easy for a student to convert a Google Doc to a Word document or a PDF document that can be uploaded into a Blackboard assignment and can be assessed by Safe Assign. So they can do their work in Google Docs and use this tool and then convert the document into a format that is accepted by Blackboard. Specifically, when they save the file, they simply save it as a docx or a PDF. And the QEP has provided a handout that will be downloadable at the both the QEP page on the Kilgore College website and the Writing Studio page on the Kilgore College website. And that document will instruct students and instructors how to download Google Docs into Microsoft Word or PDF documents that can be uploaded into Blackboard. The document will also give instructions on how a student who has written an essay in Word wants to use the tools inside Google Docs can upload that Word document into a Google Doc. And then there will be some instructions also on how to use the Google Docs citation tools that I will demonstrate. So all those will be on that handout. Now, those who know a lot about Word know that there is a citation tool in Word. And students are free to use that. The reason that we're demonstrating how to use the citation tool in Google Docs is that in the Writing Studio, the tutors there use Google Docs because of their easily shared capabilities. They can share documents between the tutor and the student easily. The tutor can make comments on the paper easily. So because that is the format in which the tutoring happens in the Writing Studio, we're using the Google Docs tools to demonstrate the citations here. So the citation tool is under Tools in Google Docs, and we'll simply click on Tools and then scroll down to Citations, which will open up a window on the right-hand side of the page. A Google Docs citation tool offers help with MLA or APA or Chicago. So whichever one of these documentation formats you're using in your class, students will have access to the tool. And you can actually toggle among these even after you've created the citations in the tool, which is a pretty nifty technique to use if you need that. And I'll show you how that works. Okay, so let's say that the student has written a little bit of the document here, and this is something you can demonstrate to the student in your class. You can either write your own document with some pre-selected sources. I've just done a series of quotes basically here. And or you can, if the students all have a tablet, you can have them practice doing it themselves, or if they have a laptop with them, or if you're in a computer lab. So I'm going to demonstrate how it works with several different types of sources. First of all, and I'm going to scroll down. I've created this document with these empty pages for a reason, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I've actually got my source materials here, and that might be handy for you as an instructor when you are demonstrating this to students. I've got several different types of sources that we'll be using for this demonstration. So I'm going to start with a book. This is just good old-fashioned print books, some of which students still use and our library still has for checkout. I'm going to click on Add Citation Source, and then I can select what the source type is. I'm going to select Book, and I'm accessing this. It's a print book. There are ways you can search if you've got an ebook that's on a website or an online database. You can search that, but we're just going to start with a print book. And then I need the ISBN number for that book. Now, I've already pre-selected mine, and I have it here on my document, so I can just copy and paste it. But you might remind students where the ISBN numbers can be located in books, usually with the barcode on the back of the book. And you can either include the dashes or not. I've found that it works both ways. but I'm going to simply copy this and I'm going to paste it into my search box. And then I will click search. And it brings up the book, which is a book called Ethical Choices. It's a philosophy book. And I've got my citation ready to go. Now, that's not the actual citation. I've got the citation information ready to go, and I'll show you how we're going to use that information shortly. So I'm going to add my citation source now. I click continue, and it gives me the opportunity here if I need to add more information. I believe I have all the information I need for my citation. So I'm going to add my citation source. Okay, it's still not an actual citation. I've just captured the information in the tool that I'm going to use in a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm going to add another citation source. And this time, I'm going to select an article from a website. So I'm just going to go to website. I'm going to access it by website. That's how I found it. And for this, I just need the URL. Now, the actual website is from the American Red Cross. So, if I were doing this as a student and creating my citations, I could just copy this URL here, go back to my document, and then paste it. Now I'm going to search to make sure that it has captured the correct website, and it has. So I'm ready to continue. All that information is there that I need to create my citation. So I'm going to add my citation source. So far I have my book and I have my website that I'm going to use in my paper. Now, the assumption is I've already used these in my paper, or I will be using these in my paper if I'm a student. Up here, I have my sample paragraph, and I have indeed quoted from both of these sources. So next, I'm going to use a different type of source, this time a journal article. Now, often we have students find journal articles from databases, but they can also be found sometimes just on websites. If that website is open to the public, if that journal is open to the public through the web. So I'm going to add another citation source. The source type is a journal article. I've selected this journal article from just a website, not an online database. I'm going to choose that. Now, for journal articles, I'm not able to just paste in the URL. I have to actually do some filling out. And so I've already cheated a little here and captured my citation information and pasted it into this document so I can just show you how it works. But if I were actually going to the website, and you might do this with your students, is to show them where this information can be found on this this journal article. This is from JAMA. Now, as you see this website, you may say, aha, there's a button that says cite this, and there is. And I thought, this is really convenient. I got really excited about it. And if I were teaching nursing or something else in a medical discipline, that would be really useful because the citation this creates is in AMA format. So I'm not going to be able to use it for my paper unless my instructors ask for AMA, but the citation tool in Google Docs does not include AMA citation format, unfortunately. So I have created my citation here. This is just kind of a little mock-up of a citation. It's not indented correctly or anything. I've just gotten the information down from that website. so that I don't have to go back and forth in the demonstration. So the first thing I have to include is the author. Notice I have multiple authors here. I'm just going to start with the first one. Because I already have it here, I'm just going to copy and paste to save time. So my first author is Sierra. Oh, pardon me, that's not correct. My first author is K. Now, this brings up another interesting point. In MLA format, I need the full first name. So I'm going to go back to my actual website and get her full first name, Carrie White. So her first name is Carrie White. And she isn't the only contributor. So I'm going to click contributor again and move to my next author. And I need a first name for MLA format. So the first name is Gracia or Gracia. Sierra. Now I'm going to move to my third author, because I do have three. And this is Clara Lermer. I'm going to remind my students to spell names correctly. Remind myself to. Okay, so I have my three authors. Now I'm ready for my article title. It's a rather long title, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. I've already written it down here with my citation information. My journal is JAMA. That's the journal title. This is volume 328, issue 20. And the pages are 2048 through 2055. It was published in 2022. Now, some of these others I don't need necessarily. If they don't have the asterisk, I'm not going to include them. Short title, standard number. So I'm going to go to the website title. It's also called, and I can go up here and check, JAMA. Then my URL. I can either get it here where I've already written it down, or I could go to the actual website and just copy it in my URL window. I need to include the day I accessed it. So today happens to be the 6th day of December, 2022. And now I'm going to check and see that I have things in here correctly. And I'm going to add my citation source. And again, right now, I'm just adding it within the tool. I'm not adding it to the paper yet. Okay, my last source is a journal article from a database. So I'm going to add another citation source, my fourth one. It's another journal article, but this time, instead of a website, it comes from a database, an online database, one of our Kilgore College databases. And again, I've cheated a little and I've gone ahead and copied down the citations. One thing that you might want to remind students of is that most, if not all, of the journal articles in our Kilgore College databases have a citation tool ready to go. You may have to look for it on the page. You might demonstrate this for your students and show it to them, but you can click on Cite on many of these articles, and it gives you different citation formats that you might need. And so I went ahead and just copied these and pasted them into my Google Doc. Now, you might be asking yourself, if I can do that, why bother with the citation tool? Well, the reason is, with the citation tool, you can also create in-text citations, which is something from my experience as an English instructor, I see students struggle with. So this is another tool to help them with that. Not only are they creating their works cited page, or if you're doing APA, your reference page, but this tool will also help you create in-text citations, which I will demonstrate shortly. So let's start filling in. My author, I actually have 3 here I can see from my APA citation. My MLA citation is only going to list the first one, so I'm going to have to make sure I know what the other ones are. The APA only gives first names. I need full names for MLA, so I'll go back and check those in the actual article. But I've got my first one, Jacob Gossner. And I know I've got some more. They're listed here, my authors. I have Hitura Anaya, which I'm probably mispronouncing terribly. Checking my spelling. Okay, and I know I have another based on my APA citation I created there. I'm going to check the first name, Douglas. McPhee. All right, so those are my 3 authors. My article title is rather long again, so I'm going to copy and paste. Let's paste that title in there. The journal is called Contemporary Family Therapy, and since I have it here, I'm just going to copy and paste it. I could go back to the article if I need to for some of this information. Volume 43, issue 3. I'm getting that right here. Pages 248 plus. This was published in 2021. The database is Gale on File Psychology. Paste that right in. URL Copy and paste that. Again, I accessed it today, 6th of December, 2022. Ready to add that citation source. Okay. So I have my 4 sources. They're just in the tool. I haven't really done anything with them yet. But what you see down here is a button that says Insert Works Cited. So I can go to the page after my essay ends. Now, this is my little pretend essay. Let's say it ends on this page 1. Go to page 2. Put my cursor at the top of the page. And I'm in MLA. I'm going to click Insert Works Cited, and magically it has created my Works Cited page for me in alphabetical order. Now, I will probably want to go through and just be sure everything's here. I might want to check with the Purdue OWL or another source to check my citations to make sure I entered things correctly. But in large part, it looks right in general. If I wanted to do the APA references page, I can simply toggle to APA. And that's why I created this other blank page to demonstrate that. And I can insert the references page. And I get this little window that pops up that reminds me to remove sources not cited in the text from references. So they have to be cited in my text, in my paragraph that I've written here. Okay. So now I'm ready to insert my in-text citations. And I can choose to insert them in APA format or MLA format. Okay. So we'll start with MLA. As if we're writing an MLA paper, and I'll demonstrate one with an APA as well. But let's start with the book, which is the book by Richard Berner. And I'm going to put my cursor where I want my citation. And I'm simply going to click Cite. And it creates my in-text citation. Now, I'm not quite finished because with a print source in MLA format, I've got to have a page number, and I do not include the page number in the citation tool, so I have to include that manually here. I'll also need to remind my students, if I'm demonstrating this, to eliminate that period at the end of my quotation and put it after my citation, my in-text citation. So I've created my in-text citation there. Let's go to our next one. This is my website article. I simply hover over this. I need to make sure my cursor is in the right spot. Right now it's not, so I want to move it. And again, I'll click Cite. There are no page numbers here on this website, so it's not calling for a page number. I do have to remember my periods. Let's go to the next one. Place my cursor where I want my citation. Cite it. Now, the assumption is I've read through this article. I've got a page number because it is a journal article. Some journal articles may not have a page number. If they don't, we simply omit that. But since my citation indicates it has page numbers, I'm going to put a page number. And I'm going to take care of my periods. And let's do this last one in APA format. This is from a journal article from a database. I'm going to add my citation source in APA format, or excuse me, I'm going to insert my reference, my citation. I need to make sure I'm on the correct one, and this is the one about Alzheimer's. So I'll click on Cite. And there's my APA citation. Again, I'll have to take care of my periods. And now I've demonstrated how to both add the Works Cited page, if it's MLA format, references page, if it's APA format, and then my in-text citations. I will also be providing a video that students can watch, showing students how to do this. I would still recommend demonstrating it in class. It's always more powerful when the instructor demonstrates it while students are there watching and listening. And I also recommend that if you have students who have devices, tablets, or laptops, or you're in a computer lab, that you have students try it with you. And that can be a really powerful reminder for them as well. Again, there will be handouts available on the QEP website, on the Kilgore College website, the QEP page, and the Writing Studio page, demonstrating, giving instructions on how to download the document from Google Docs into a DocX or Word document or a PDF document, and also doing the reverse, uploading a Word document into Google Docs. And then there'll be some written instructions on how to use the citation tool in Google Docs. Thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Again, I'm Jace Graves or Karen Dulweber, who's our director of our QEP, and we'll be happy to help. Thank you.